Hey, what's up? It's KT. Are you ready? We are going to do part 1, interests versus passions. This is going to be very, very difficult. I won't lie, but in the end, what we're really going to figure out is our actual, true, passionate selves. What really strikes your soul. What really lights that fire in you. And I'm here to do this along with you. And if at any point this gets really, really difficult, you're always welcome to book a one-on-one session. You've got 6 of them. First 3 at the discount and the second 3 free. So, I think that's pretty awesome, don't you? Alright, so like the worksheet says, interests versus passions. Interest is kind of your broad topic. So, if you want to pull up your app right now, what I recommend is watching this video on a tablet or a computer and kind of going alongside, because if you're switching between the video and the worksheet, it's just going to get kind of confusing. Otherwise, you can watch this video all the way through and do everything on paper and not look at the worksheet. It's completely up to you, whatever you're most comfortable with. So, let's start with interests. I'm not going to read through the whole beginning portion there. Alright, so we have to list a minimum of 10 interests. That's going to be hard, and that's going to be hard even for me, and I'm doing this along with you. I need a drink of water before I do this. Okay, this is difficult, but the passions are going to be even more difficult. Alright, so I'm just going to go through my interests and go through them with me. Pause the video anytime you need. Alright, one of my interests, big time, is music. And I have a pencil because I'll probably be doing a lot of erasing. Alright, music. I love nature. That's 2. And I love... It's really hard to think about, isn't it? It's really hard to think about. So take your time. I'm obviously taking mine. I really like antiques. Okay. And with that, I love historical places as well. Alright, so another interest of mine would be geology. I've always been interested in that. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have a major interest, obviously, in, I guess you could call it psychology, so I'm going to say that. That's a broad term, right? We got to be really broad here. And I have an interest in nature, but I also have an interest in environmentalism, so I'm going to write that down. Environmentalism. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have an interest in... I keep going, my mind keeps going to nature because I have such an interest in it. I have interest definitely in pets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I definitely have an interest in writing. That's 9. And I have an interest in I keep going to the nature ones all the time, but I want to try to keep it broad. Um, so let's just say cooking, for sure. That's my interest, cooking. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 10 interests. And if you don't feel like you have to go as fast as I did, if you need to take more time, and if you come up with more than 10 interests, great, but try your best to come up with at least 10. All right, so the next part, what is it about? And then you're going to say that interest that really speaks to my heart. All right, so you got to go through that for each and every one. I'm going to go through mine. And like I said, pause the video anytime you need. What is it about music that really speaks to my heart? Well, really and truly, I love when music comes out of me, when I can write it, when I can sing it, really the way that I enjoy it, when it's something very creative, like the creative production of music really speaks to my heart. So I'm just going to make a little note next to where I said music, and I'm going to write production. Creative production. Okay, and then what is it about nature that really speaks to my heart? Water. Water, water, and water. All of nature. I love all of nature, but I love water. I mean, water is like my favorite thing in the world. Any natural body of water. So now I'm going to write natural bodies of water. Okay. What is it about antiques that really speaks to my heart? The people who used them long ago. So I'm going to make a little note of that. The people who used them just fascinates me. And you can use that word too. Fascination. Like, what are you fascinated with? What is it about this that fascinates me? You can say that too. If you're having trouble when you're saying, what is it about blank that speaks to my heart? You can say, what is it about blank that fascinates me? Maybe you'll get your answer then. Okay, what is it about historical places that speaks to my heart? What is it about historical places that fascinates me? I'm coming up with the same answer. The people that were there. So the people that were at these places. People that, I'm just going to put ditto marks because that's honestly the same thing. All right, what is it about geology that speaks to my heart, or that fascinates me? Well, I especially love the way that rivers and lakes are formed. So you're going to find connections. You are, just like I am. So I have that connection to the natural bodies of water. So the forming of rivers and lakes, and just the process, the process of rivers and lakes. Like, how would I even describe that? The process of a river and how it flows and how it changes and how it floods and really just the formation and life, I guess. The changes. Formation, changes. I'm going to put that. Of water bodies. I know they're natural. All right, what is it about psychology that speaks to my heart? Well, this is not going to come as a surprise, but what really speaks to my heart about this is people being their true selves and people excelling and just being their potential. And that is why I'm doing these programs. All right, so people being their potential. All right. Now, some of these interests are obviously going to be very similar. So now I have environmentalism that goes along with my nature and everything else. So what is it about environmentalism that really speaks to my heart? Preservation of water. All right, so I'm going to write preservation of water. All right, now I've got pets. What is it about pets that really speaks to my heart? Well, I love animals, and I especially love dogs. So just dogs being family, I'll put that one there. And I'm just going to say right now, don't be afraid if one of your interests or passions or fascinations is something really, really weird. I mean, if your fascination is, I don't know, boxes, write it down. You know, it's not weird. There's nothing here is weird. Because I guarantee you, if your fascination is something that seems off the wall, I guarantee you there's somebody else that has an even more seemingly off the wall fascination or passion or interest. All right, next on my list is writing. What about writing speaks to my heart? I really enjoy creating a story, creating a feeling. All right, creating a feeling. And last but not least, what is it about cooking that speaks to my heart? You know what I'm going to say? Creating an experience. There we go. All right, so keep all of this, all of your notes, because when we come back later after we find our passions, we're going to kind of go toward the action mode, and some of this can kind of help us through that, because some of the things that you're going to list are going to actually be active things like creating. All right, so if you need to pause the video and get all yours done, go and do it. All right, so now we're done. We figured out our interests. And that's it for this one. No, it's not. I lied. I was like, I thought I put it on the same worksheet. It is on the same worksheet. So you are going to have to narrow down your interest into a passion. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Basically, what you wrote on to why it speaks to your heart, just kind of put that into a category per se. but it's going to be a lot more detailed than your interest. So right now, I've got music and I like creative production. So I'm going to turn that into creative production of music. Creative production of music. Okay. Now, nature, I have natural bodies of water. So I am going to write natural bodies of water, I guess. Natural bodies of water. That is definitely a passion of mine. Love it. All right, so antiques, I've got the people who use them. So how could I put that into a category? I would say the passion then would be the use of antique items. Historic use of antique items. That sounds awesome, doesn't it? You can probably get a little bit into my personality as you're listening to me, and that's awesome because, you know, when I read and hear your passions and your interests and all these things that you do to narrow them down, it's going to be like, oh, you know, I got a little glimpse into you and into your personality. Okay, the next one for me is historic places, which is kind of the same thing. So, I would say, but it's kind of like local for me. Once in a while, you're going to find that you kind of switch it up. So right now, you know, I said the people that were at the historic places, but now I'm thinking it's like local town and city historical places and what they meant to the people. So I kind of switched that over. And if you feel like you have to switch something, that's why you're either going to use a pencil and erase it, or if you want to actually track your progress with it, just kind of put one line through it and rewrite it. So I'm going to rewrite this, and for historical places, I'm going to say the importance of local history. The importance of local history. Alright, next is geology, formation of water bodies. That sounds like a topic, right? Formation and changes of water bodies. Formation and changes of water bodies. I'm just absolutely fascinated at how these rivers, like the Colorado River and the Grand Canyon, isn't that awesome? Alright, so the next thing is psychology, and I wrote people being their potential. But I'm going to change that as a passion to helping people become their potential. Notice how specific these are. Helping people become their... And yeah, even though I'm writing really fast, I can still read my writing. So that's good. Alright, and the next thing that I've got is the environmentalism, preservation of water, bodies, preservation of water bodies. Okay, and then the next thing I've got is dogs being family. Or I want to make that into, I'm going to have that be treating dogs like family. Treating dogs like family. Because it does bother me when people, I feel I'm one of those people that feels like you shouldn't have a dog if you're not going to treat it like family. All right, so writing, creating a feeling. So I'm going to say creative writing's a little too broad, but creating an image. How about this? Soulful writing. That sounds right. And let me tell you, if you ever need to change this list because you think of something else, go for it. You'll just have a longer list and more stuff to delete in the end. All right, and cooking, creating an experience. So let's just say, creative. Inventing creative recipes. There we go. Like I said, it's going to you're not going to necessarily copy what you said for why it speaks to your heart. You're going to just kind of group it into something and take your time with it. Absolutely take your time. And another thing, if ever you need to pause, you're going to keep getting your worksheets every day. But if you ever need to pause, they're still going to come. That's okay. Take your time. And then later on, they're going to show up in your feed. They're going to show up when you search your tags. So you will be able to take longer than the 6 weeks to complete this program. And it is not going to cost you more. The program itself is what you paid for. And if you take 8 weeks to do it, you take 8 weeks to do it. It's no big deal. You still only get the 6 sessions for the discount and the 3 for free, or the 3 for the discount, the 3 for free. But you can have a full price session, or 2 or 3, or how many ever you need. So that's how that works. All right, so tomorrow, or if you need more time, maybe even a week from now, you're going to start eliminating these passions to find your 3 top. Have a good one.